The world, the universe, is full of wonders that we can't quite absorb or understand. Mysterious, bizarre, stellar, awe-inspiring, and ever-expanding. But enough about me, your host, Sokita Kiev. Welcome back to the Why-Files. Joining me in today's episode are guests, old and new. I mean that in the politest way, of course. Angelica, Cam, and Tara. Our topic for today, aliens, UFOs, and the vast universe. Get ready to explore the unexplained. Let's start off with this question that I've asked a few of our past guests. What if the asteroid that crashed onto Earth and killed all the dinosaurs was actually a spaceship? And we're the aliens?
That's actually interesting thought process. Do you think it's crazy?
That doesn't make sense.
That's interesting. You know, it's funny because even though we are mammals like all other animals, we are different in our intelligence and our, I don't want to say cruelty, but I guess that is part of it. You know, we sort of willed our way to the top of the food chain.
I think that could make some sense, but I feel like there would be more evidence of that. Because what would be considered the alien species?
Unless you're saying that the asteroid had the water-based organism that we eventually evolved from, or that it was a microbe, like a eukaryotic cell, like a multi-celled organism that eventually created life or evolved into life.
I like that. Can I change my answer?
Ooh, spooky or dooky.
And what if aliens are just future versions of ourselves?
That's funny. That's what Halo's about. Well, it's similar where it's when you go to the Halo world, it was built by the Forerunners, I think they're called, and it turns out the Forerunners were humans before they got to Earth, and like they had to destroy this universal plague, and it killed all of them, but they were able to like ship off some humans to a distant planet, and that was us.
So in the last episode, we discussed time traveling. The idea that aliens are distant future versions of ourselves, not a new concept. U.S. Navy Commander George W. Hoover, who had top secret clearance, revealed the famous Roswell alien crash involved time-traveling humans, visiting us to better understand their past. Imagine, if we had the means to time travel, would Neanderthals and other prehistoric humans see us as aliens? Considering reported sightings of aliens and UFOs, the description certainly fits what we'd look like after a few thousand years of evolution. Larger heads to fit our larger brains, larger eyes to see better during intergalactic travel. Many of the reported alien sightings happened in Area 51, only publicly acknowledged in declassified files by the government in 2013, obtained through the Freedom of Information Act. It was named after its designation on maps of the Atomic Energy Commission. Although, many of the first sightings that happened around the 50s and 60s coincided with test flights of the new and secret reconnaissance plane and stealth fighter, F-117 Nighthawk, as well as the U-2 spy plane. Whistleblowers like Hoover and Bob Lazar, a physicist who claimed to have worked with alien technology inside Area 51, brought public attention and fueled conspiracy theories around the classified military installation in the late 1980s. To this day, the secrecy surrounding Area 51 feeds into the UFO and alien phenomenon, featuring in multiple sci-fi shows such as The X-Files, and now here in The Why-Files. Well, do you guys believe in aliens?
Yes.
I do.
Yes, I do. Maybe not the the stereotypical aliens coming down in a spaceship to, capture people or probe or whatever. But I mean, there's just, the universe is so vast. I feel like it's impossible for there not to be some other life forms out there. We haven't even explored 1/1,000,000th, and we don't have the capabilities to. So there must be something out there that we just don't know about.
Our universe is too vast to deny the existence of other life forms.
Because I think isn't it scary to think that we're the only ones out there? But more likely, what I think is there is life on other planets, but it's maybe at the beginning stages. Like it's at the microbial stage. And obviously because of pop culture and stuff, my first thing is like green aliens and Mayan periods.
Period. Yeah.
Pyramids, not periods.
The ancient astronauts hypothesis.
So that's what pops into my head, but like if I actually think more of it, it's probably just microbes and bacteria. Because I think when NASA is like, oh, there could have been life on Mars, they're talking about maybe like bacteria. Like there was water there, so maybe.
There are programs out there that focuses on the topic of extraterrestrial life, one being SETI Institute. SETI stands for Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. It is a non-profit research organization whose mission is to explore, understand, and explain the origin and nature of life in the universe. Do you believe there are intelligent life out there?
Yeah, like for sure, those have to exist somewhere. We can't be the only planet that has like the right atmosphere and stuff to like house living things.
Absolutely. The universe is too big. I mean, I think that there's a lot of hubris in thinking that we're the only intelligent life, we're the only intelligent planet. You know, that's like, you really have to believe that humans are special. The thing is, I do believe that it's an incredibly rare set of circumstances that leads to intelligent life.
I do believe in intelligent life out there. How intelligent? I don't know, but I think there's something.
Why haven't we found any irrefutable evidence? Could intelligent life be that rare? Are we it?
And again, this is not me saying there aren't intelligent life and there aren't way more advanced civilizations than us, because I think that absolutely is possible. I just don't think that we have been visited. I don't think the U.S. government is smart enough to cover something up like that. You know, you hear about past instances, but it seems like interactions with UFOs have tapered off since everyone got a phone. Although, there was that video that came out last year, or the year before, of an unidentified flying object being tracked. I remember because one of the guys from Blink-182 was way into this. And I remember it was a literal unidentified flying object. It was moving in a way that was inordinate, yeah.
And also that guy, what was it, Israel or something? He was like a professor that like confirmed that there's like a federation, like a galactic federation. I mean, I can believe that, and I can believe that our race is not ready to be included.
In the science of astrobiology, the study of life in the universe, there's something called the Drake equation. It's used to estimate the number of active, communicative, extraterrestrial civilizations in the Milky Way galaxy. This equation, written by Frank Drake in 1961, isn't complete. The discoveries made so far have only filled in half the equation. It wasn't done for the purpose of actually quantifying the number of civilizations, but to start a scientific dialogue on the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. What if aliens were to visit us tomorrow?
I'd piss my pants.
I guess it depends. Obviously bleak.
Like, honestly, if it's like the green alien, or if it's like the aliens from Alien, I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably cry, because my first thought is like total annihilation. But I think a lot of those movies are kind of like white male colonizer fever dreams that they have, and that's why it's always like aliens invading us and colonizing and like taking over the world, because that's all they kind of know.
But I've always thought that the one thing that could absolutely, or I guess there's a couple things, but one of the things that could absolutely unite the human race would be an outside force. I mean, if they enslaved us, it's obviously too late.
I'd like to think if we were ever visited by aliens, it would be something where like they found out we exist and they want to share their knowledge with us. I like hope they're kind. I know that if humans were the ones to go around, we just like mess everything up and like colonize whole planets and create slaves and everything, and that terrifies me.
But if it got to the point where the aliens were here and you couldn't hide it and we were fighting back, I really believe that, you know, most people would try to either band together, or, you know, the alternative would probably be every man for himself, or try to surrender to the aliens.
Another thing I worry about is that, I don't know if you remember that Twilight Zone. They're like visited by aliens. The aliens are so nice, and like they have this book. I don't think they let anyone look at the book. And so eventually they created a great relationship with humans, and then it kind of came out where like they're saying, oh, like, we want to take some humans back to our planet to kind of like have this relationship. So they're like, yeah. So this person goes, don't go, but it's already too late. They're on the ship, and they're like, the book, it's a spoiler alert. It's a spoiler alert. That made me like terrified.
What if we're just a part of some galactic zoo, a plaything, or a project for aliens?
They're watching us, man. They're in our heads, man.
Maybe they think maybe it's like, have you seen that meme where it's like, damn, Earth season 2020 is like really popping? There's like, oh, the alien watching Earth 2020. Like, oh, I hope like so-and-so stays alive. Like, oh, I hope Tara makes it through this season.
In terms of a grander scale, humans don't want to be alone. We believe in the possibility that intelligent life is out there. So much so that in 1977, we included 2 phonograph records in both Voyager spacecrafts, in the hopes that either one is ever found by intelligent life forms from other planetary systems. The disc included photos of Earth and its life forms, spoken greetings in 55 languages, and a medley of sounds including a baby crying, whales, waves, and music. Carl Sagan stated that the launching of this bottle into the cosmic ocean says something very hopeful about life on this planet. Voyager 1 is the farthest man-made object from Earth, the first to reach interstellar space. It has long surpassed its operational expectations and continues to send information about its journey back to us. Both Voyager 1 and 2 featured a simple plaque with a message from President Jimmy Carter. Part of Carter's text says, "We cast this message into the cosmos. It is likely to survive 1 billion years into our future, when our civilization is profoundly altered and the surface of the Earth may be vastly changed. Of the 200 million stars in the Milky Way galaxy, some, perhaps many, may have inhabited planets and spacefaring civilizations. If one such civilization intercepts Voyager and can understand these recorded contents, here is our message. This is a present from a small, distant world. A token of our sounds, our science, our images, our music, our thoughts, and our feelings. We are attempting to survive our time so we may live into yours. We hope someday, having solved the problems we face, to join a community of galactic civilizations. This record represents our hope and our determination, and our goodwill in a vast and awesome universe." Have you ever looked up at the night sky, away from any light pollution, and just gazed at the stars? There's so many, and that's just from what we can see with our naked eye. It's hard to comprehend the sheer size of the universe. In 1995, the Hubble telescope took a long exposure of a speck of dark empty area near the Big Dipper. Imagine holding a pen, arms stretched out in front of you towards space. The very tip of that ballpoint pen is about the size of the image taken. Upon examination, what it showed was over 1,500 individual galaxies. That was 1995. Now, after some optical improvements, it showed over 10,000 galaxies. Galaxies like our own Milky Way, an average size of about 100,000 light years, where our solar system is just but a speck in. Physicists believe the universe is unimaginably big. Due to the recent discovery of dark energy, which accounts for most of its mass, the universe is ever expanding. The further the galaxy, the faster it recedes. We touched upon measurements regarding the universe in previous episodes. Light second, light years, light centuries. What does that even mean? A light year is the distance light travels in 1 Earth year. 1 light year is approximately 6 trillion miles. Our neighboring galaxy Andromeda is 2.5 million light years away. That light we're seeing is 2.5 million years old. Again, 1 light year is 6 trillion miles. So multiply that by 2.5 million, and that's visualization beyond my capabilities. Even then, Andromeda and the Milky Way are within what we call our local group, which is one of hundreds of galaxy groups in the Laniakea supercluster, which is one of millions of superclusters in the observable universe. Our local group is only 100 billionth of a percent of the observable universe. Other local groups aren't gravitationally bound to us. So again, it's ever expanding. Just let that sink in for a second. What we do doesn't matter in the cosmic sense. Talk about an existential crisis. How far do you guys think we'll go in terms of space travel?
In our lifetime or just in general?
In our lifetime.
In our lifetime, no, I don't think so, unfortunately. But I think that maybe future generations will. I hope so.
I don't think humans will ever be ready to meet aliens because we have proven time and time again that we only know how to destroy what is different. So it would just be a disservice to the universe to meet us. So I hope that never happened. It'd be cool, but I don't think we have anything to share. We would be like the cancer of the universe. I mean, and this is assuming like everyone else is peaceful, but because we know what humans are, who we are, I don't think we would benefit anyone.
I think that in the future we'll have the capability. Yeah, if we don't destroy ourselves. I really, like humans are just so reactionary and tribalist, and we're too smart for our own good.
In our lifetime, I think we might make it to see a human on Mars.
What if Mars was like previous Earth?
I think Mars would be the only one. To get past Mars, you'd have to get past the asteroid belt, and I don't think like we would be capable. Well, at least right now. I also don't really look into like what NASA's planning to do right now. I mean, I don't know, like 100 years ago, no one thought we'd get to the moon, so it's kind of like I'm very limited in my knowledge. I mean, ideally, I'd like to think that eventually humans can like jump galaxies. Maybe we'll have universe, like maybe we can travel between parallel universes. There's probably one right now where
You're not stuck here answering questions. When we hear physicists speak about multiverse and many worlds, we don't always understand the concept and differences. I sure didn't. When cosmologists talk about the multiverse, it means that our own universe is just but one of many outside the observable universe, a part of a larger spacetime that includes many, many others, some with properties and laws similar to our own, and others completely different. Neil deGrasse Tyson offered the example of being on a ship at sea. Your whole universe is there to the horizon, and a different ship at sea has its own horizon. Unless their horizons overlap, you're not going to meet. Maybe what first came to mind with the topic of multiverse, thanks to pop culture, is when you've been in a situation where you're considering the possibilities of what would have happened had you said this, done that, and gone there. That's the many world theory. Consider the thought experiment put forth by Erwin Schrödinger, one founder of quantum mechanics, where if you put a cat sealed inside a box with a device that has a 50% chance of killing it in the next hour, is the cat dead or alive? Let's put aside his apparent disdain for cats and the whole felicide thing for now. Schrödinger explains that according to quantum physics, the moment right before you open the box, the cat is both simultaneously alive and dead. Until you open the box, it's just a blur of probability, a quantum superposition. Using this concept, the many worlds theory proposes that every possible alternate timeline is real, that upon opening the box, we are split into two. Do you guys think there are multiple universes out there? Or what about parallel?
Like, it's possible. There are weirder things out there.
I mean, I believe in both. I say why not? I'd like to believe there's another universe out there where I'm like fabulously wealthy and just living my best life.
They know for a fact that the universe is expanding, right? I mean, how often have you almost done something and then not done it?
I'll be at work and I'll be doing something and I'm like, oh, there's a parallel universe where right now I just kneel over and have a stroke and die. I feel like I'm the only one who thinks it. Like, sometimes I'll be at work and I'll drop something and it will miss my foot and I'll be like, there's a parallel universe where I dropped that and I broke my foot and now I'm going to the hospital.
Like, I really think that that's possible because, I mean, realistically, there are limited possibilities, unlimited outcomes. And who's to say that, you know, there's a universe that's split off that I decided to stay home one day from work, or, you know, you decided to take a left turn instead of a right turn, and that is another universe. I mean, there's no real way to prove that, but...
Or disprove.
Exactly, there's no way to disprove it.
I'm torn between kind of just because you can't see it doesn't mean it exists, because, you know, like I can't see the oxygen in the air, but I know it exists based on research and like I feel like the universe is so unknowing at this point. I don't think we'll get an answer in our lifetime, but there are plenty of people out there who's trying to make sure that humanity will one day receive that answer. And I think that's exciting.
The new discoveries, the questions they bring, the possibilities around the universe and life within it is awe-inspiring. We've looked to the stars for thousands of years and will continue to do so until the end. Whether that sees us living on other planets, traveling from one galaxy to the next, or with the sun burning out, us, long extinct before them. Thank you, Angelica, Cam, and Tara, for joining me in today's episode. Despite the existential crisis, it's always a pleasure.
Oh, you're welcome. It was fun.
Oh, is this still going?
Yeah. How do the Disney stars do this?
Join us next week as we discover and muse some history, facts, legends, and accounts on vampires, zombies, and the ever-elusive Bigfoot. So be sure to like, subscribe, and listen to the TheWHYFiles.